Hey, what's up? So if I was to give this movie out of 5, I would give this a 3.7 out of 5. It's a great film. It's shot very well. Actually, if you have to think about this movie, you think of the first 3 quarters of the film is Quentin Tarantino. The last quarter is more of Charlie's Angel, the 2016 movie. Yeah, they dropped the ball somewhere. So it's directed by Zoe Kravitz, who's actually Catwoman in the Batman movie. It stars Naomi Aoki, who is Whitney Houston in I Want to Dance with Someone. And she's awesome. She's really great. Now, she plays a character called Frida. Now, Frida, Channing Tatum is the villain in quote. He's called Slasher King. And so Slasher King is like one of these rich guys, and he has these exclusive parties on his island. And so one day Frida, who is like this, ordinary working person, gets an opportunity to actually go to the island with him. So she's off with him and her friend, and they go there, and it's an island. Everyone is having a great time, but it's just alcohol, eat, go to bed, wake up, the same old thing. Nothing is happening, or so you think. That's the gist of the movie. The things that I liked: very good editing. Editing is used. Editing is the most standout thing about this movie. Starting from the title reveal. The title reveal, they do a great job with what they do with the title. It's unlike anything you've ever seen, basically. The cinematography is so colorful, man. It's so radiant, it's so bright, it's so colorful, it's such a beautiful movie to look at. Apart from the composition, it's just a great movie to look at. And then they played around with the composition to disorient you a lot of times, because it's somehow disorienting. There are some scenes that don't make sense until you discover what's actually happening in that particular island. Apart from the editing and the cinematography, the music is great. And something else on the cinematography, this is a very intimate movie, as in the camera a lot of time is on your face with the characters. It's like the cameraman was always on Naomi, aka Frida's face, capturing those moments. And it was important for the close-ups because the actors are forced to sell things that the director is trying to hide. So there are things that the director has kept away from you, but she relies on the actors to actually sell those things that she's trying to keep away from you. And so you get a lot of expressions, you get a lot of, those, think of Get Out, basically. Actually, this movie is Get Out plus Glass Onion. Anyways, I was saying, the other thing that I like, the music is great, the editing is great. I keep repeating the editing because the editing is the standout thing about this movie. It's the one thing that I actually loved about this movie. The other thing that I actually kind of enjoyed apart from that was the costumes. They do something very clever with the costumes, because the ladies are always in some form of dressing when they go to the island, and that is used very well up to the end. Now, something that I did not actually like, and this is just being very broad, is what they do during the end, because it moves from a really great movie, because there's a lot of social commentary. This is like Get Out. Get Out is a social commentary movie about racism. This is a social commentary movie about female empowerment, or women losing their power, or women being exploited, something like that. And I thought to myself that something could have been done better by the end. Something could have been done as a different way to make it have more meaning. Think of Get Out. When you think of Get Out, everything is introduced by the 40th minute. Everything about the black and white, whatever is happening to them, by the 40th minute is done. You know what exactly is happening. After that, it's more of a psychological thriller that is more of a survivor story about this person trying to get out of this situation. So that is now what draws everyone in, because anyone can be in that situation. Apart from the black person, it can be anyone in that situation, and you are always rooting for this person because they're a person trying to get away from a dangerous place. It's not just about a black person trying to get away from white people. So in this movie, this now Blink Twice, you get women trying to do something to get their power back at the end, which now devalues everything that has been established, because they have a great story. They have very good twist. They have a very dark theme. Yes, it's familiar. Actually, think of Jerry Epstein's island. What used to happen there? It's exactly what is happening in this island. The only thing, spoiler alert, if you don't want any spoilers, it was good to see you in this video. Thanks for watching this. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. See you in the next one. Adios. If you are here for the spoilers, be warned, I'm going to spoil it for you. So one of the twists is that the women get assaulted in the island. bad things happen to the women in the island. And then in the morning, there's this perfume that they're given, and there's this flower that they're given that makes them lose their memory. So for the women, being there is kind of boring because nothing is actually happening. But at night, bad things happen to them, but they don't remember because of the perfume and other things. So that's the gist of the big twist. The other twist is that for the character of Frida, that's not actually, this is why I watched it twice. That character of Frida, this was not the first time that she was in that particular island. All the event that was presented in the film was not the first time. And we get to discover that during the last moment because of a lizard. Because you see a lizard in the opening, and it's like a dream. You know, she's looking at that lizard like a dream, and then she wakes up and starts painting her finger with lizards. And so when you get to the end, something is done that reminds you, oh, so there's no way this was our first time. If this lizard appeared during this particular period, that means that everything that we've seen was not new, including Channing Tatum's performance when he first meets Frida and is talking to her. You can see his obsession with her, and you can see her obsession with him. Now, she does not remember him. She does not remember any of her friends, but she kind of likes this dude. And the dude just plays off like, wow, this is the most, even when he invites her to the island, it's like he has to leave, and then he runs back and he's like, man, can you come to my island? It's pretty awesome. And then later on, when now you make out what actually happened, you discover that this is not the first time that thing actually happened. So I thought that was a very cool twist. Now, the thing that I did not like with that ending is that it moves, there's a scene that they're chased by the bodyguard, who is the only one who has a gun. And so they overpower him. That is Frida and Sarah. And then after overpowering him, they walk back to the house, and you get that, you know, as I said, costumes, the white clothes, you know, dirty clothes, and they are walking confidently towards the house because they have a gun. And I'm like, that scene is off. That's not the way it works, because you wouldn't walk that confidently, despite the fact that you've injured some of the people. There's no way you'd walk towards such kind of a scenario confidently, because you don't know what these people have done in order to prepare themselves. Maybe they have more security guards. Maybe they have more guns. You don't quite understand how big whatever they're doing might be. There might be snipers. There might be things they have set up in order to take you out. So that for me did not make sense. It actually took away from the story. I wish what they were trying to do with the women empowerment thing could have been established earlier, and now you focused on these people who are seeking revenge because of what happened to them, because that for me was the most interesting thing, because they go through terrible things, and you expect them during that particular final act to walk back not confident as women, but confident as hurt people, confident as people who've gone through a lot of shit, basically angry people who are, but it's just two of them, but two angry people who are ready to just take out everyone because of what happened to them. It's not supposed to be that, oh, look at me, I'm so cool walking up towards the house. No, it's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be, oh man, I'm going in there and I'm going to kill everyone. So that's the problem that I had. And then now the ending, the proper ending, you have Slater, the person who owns the island. He gets his memory wiped out because Frida puts a bit of that memory, whatever, in the vape for Slater. And so before Slater kills Sarah, he takes a puff of the vape, and then he cannot remember what's happening. And so Frida takes advantage, and now she becomes the CEO of the company. And then the movie ends. Like, now she's the boss, she's over Slater, and that, I think, just devalues everything, because now you don't feel the full impact of what happened in the island. It takes away from the seriousness of what happened in the island. We don't get that moment to understand what exactly happened to her friends, to the other people, and then you don't get to understand what happened to the people who used to come to the island. Because, as I said, Jeffrey Epstein, there are people who used to come to the island to actually just exploit the women. But we don't get, apart from one person, we don't really get to understand what happened to all those other people. Then, yes, they established that Frida was not seen and she needed to be seen, but she had this need to be seen. She had this need to be something. And so when you get that at the end, as much as it feels earned, it does not feel right. For the idea that they should have burned the house down, killed Slater and killed all his friends, and maybe now she becomes that without him, without the presence of him, because now having the presence of him and having presence of other characters, that means that the problem was never solved. It was just brushed off. So basically, that's my review. If you see Blink Twice anywhere, it's worth it. It's worth your time. It's a beautifully short movie, viewed very well edited, and yeah, very very creative. It's artsy. It feels like an art film, but it's just shot in a way that makes it feel larger than it actually is. So basically, that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. Shall see you on the next one. Adios.